The landscape of modern celebrity culture is shifting in ways that few could have anticipated just a decade ago, moving away from the highly orchestrated public relations campaigns of the past toward a new era defined by digital intimacy, unscripted moments, and genuine human connection. In a world where audiences are constantly bombarded with carefully curated images and manufactured narratives, the public has developed a sharp, intuitive radar for authenticity. We no longer just want to see glamorous red carpet photos or read polished press releases. We want to witness the unvarnished truth of human interaction. This collective craving for something real has transformed the way we consume entertainment, turning casual viewers into active participants who closely analyze every interview, every glance, and every subtle shift in body language. When two fiercely independent, incredibly successful, and universally beloved media personalities cross paths, the internet does not merely observe, it becomes completely invested in the story that unfolds before its eyes. It is within this hyper-reactive digital environment that an unexpected narrative began to take shape, captivating millions of onlookers who found themselves drawn to an undeniable, simmering energy between two figures who operate at the absolute pinnacle of their respective corners of the entertainment industry. Before diving deep into the fascinating layers of this unfolding story and uncovering the truth behind the whispers that have taken the internet by storm, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the biggest moments in culture and entertainment. As we look closer at how this captivating dynamic developed, it becomes clear that the magic of modern media lies in its ability to bring together people from seemingly different worlds and create a spark that resonates globally. On one hand, you have an individual who has practically grown up in front of the camera, evolving from a remarkably talented child prodigy into a multifaceted powerhouse whose career spans acting, singing, producing, and hosting. Her infectious energy, razor-sharp wit, and uncompromising authenticity have made her a beloved cultural icon capable of commanding any room she enters. On the other hand, you have a mastermind of the unconventional interview format, a man who redefined how we understand celebrity journalism by pairing deep, meticulously researched questions with the grueling physical challenge of increasingly spicy hot wings. His calm, collected demeanor, intellectual curiosity, and understated charm have allowed him to extract profound insights from the world's biggest stars, earning him the immense respect of both peers and audiences alike. When these two distinct forces first collided within the unique arena of internet talk shows, the atmosphere was immediately charged with something rare. It was not just the typical polite banter of a promotional tour or the standard back-and-forth exchange between a host and a guest. Instead, viewers quickly noticed a playful rhythmic back-and-forth that felt entirely unscripted and remarkably genuine. The initial encounters were marked by a mutual admiration that seemed to transcend the professional boundaries of the interview format. He, known for his ability to maintain absolute composure under any circumstances, showed signs of genuine vulnerability and flustered admiration in her presence. She, known for her ability to light up any space with her booming laughter and charismatic presence, seemed to find a unique comfort in his thoughtful approach and grounding energy. It was a classic case of opposites attracting in the most public way possible, and the digital community took immediate notice, parsing through every single frame of video to document what many believed to be a textbook example of undeniable chemistry. As the months rolled by, this intriguing connection did not simply fade into the background of forgotten internet moments. Instead, it continued to quietly simmer beneath the surface, fueled by occasional public interactions, subtle social media nods, and a growing chorus of dedicated fans who began enthusiastically rooting for the duo. The concept of shipping, where an audience collectively desires to see two individuals enter a romantic relationship, is certainly nothing new in the realm of fandom, but it rarely carries the weight of such widespread, genuine optimism. People were not just projecting their own fantasies onto a screen, they were responding to a tangible, visible warmth that existed whenever these two were in the same room. The intrigue deepened as both individuals continued to reach new heights in their respective careers, making their paths cross in increasingly high-profile settings, further blurring the lines between professional camaraderie and something much more personal. The suspense surrounding their true relationship status began to reach a fever pitch as the public looked for any definitive sign that would either confirm or deny the mounting rumors. Every interview they gave, every project they launched, and every public appearance they made was viewed through the lens of this ongoing mystery. It became a masterclass in modern digital storytelling, where the audience actively helps write the narrative based on a series of scattered clues, shared glances, and cryptic remarks. The anticipation was palpable, with fans and commentators alike wondering whether this was simply a beautifully orchestrated friendship built on mutual respect and shared industry experiences, or if it was the beginning of a genuine, modern-day romance between two of the most relatable and influential figures in contemporary media. The stage was perfectly set for a moment of truth, a definitive encounter where the swirling rumors would finally have to confront reality, leaving audiences holding their breath to see what would happen next as the boundaries between their private lives and public personas continued to overlap in the most captivating way. The quiet murmurs and digital speculation that had been building for months finally erupted into a full-blown cultural phenomenon when the calendar turned to May, marking a definitive turning point in this captivating saga. The catalyst for this sudden explosion of public interest was a highly anticipated episode of the widely popular podcast, Baby, This is Keke Palmer. When the announcement dropped that Sean Evans would be stepping into Keke's domain as a guest, the internet collectively held its breath, sensing that the unique dynamics previously witnessed on his show would be entirely amplified in a setting where she held the microphone. The resulting episode did not disappoint, delivering an hour of media that was so saturated with warmth, mutual admiration, and playful tension that it instantly set social media feeds ablaze. From the very moment Sean sat down, the atmosphere shifted away from a standard promotional interview and into something that felt deeply intimate, resembling a private conversation between two people who were entirely fascinated by one another. Keke welcomed him with her signature, radiant beam, a smile so full of genuine joy that viewers could not help but analyze the sheer comfort she displayed in his presence. Sean, usually the epitome of the poised, unflappable journalist who carefully guards his own persona while dissecting others, appeared noticeably disarmed, showing a softer, deeply complimentary side that audiences had rarely seen in his hundreds of episodes of interviewing Hollywood elite during this viral podcast recording. The compliments flowed freely and with a striking level of sincerity that transcended standard industry politeness. Sean took a moment to look directly at Keke and describe her not just as a talented peer, but explicitly praised her as being incredibly smart, exceptionally beautiful, and obviously charismatic. Coming from a man whose career is built on precision of speech and reading people, these words carried immense weight, and the visible effect on Keke was unmistakable. Her reactions were a mix of flattered charm and enthusiastic engagement, creating a feedback loop of positive energy that made it practically impossible for viewers to ignore the profound connection between them. Shippers and casual observers alike immediately began clipping these segments, analyzing the specific inflection of their voices, the prolonged eye contact, and the shared inside jokes that seemed to populate the conversation. The collective consensus online was instantaneous. This was no longer just a case of two professional acquaintances showing mutual respect, but rather a vivid display of two people who shared an incredibly powerful, magnetic attraction that was becoming increasingly difficult to hide behind the guise of professional networking. The plot thickened significantly just a couple of weeks later, moving the narrative out of the controlled environment of a recording studio and directly into the unforgiving, highly scrutinized streets of New York City. Paparazzi and eagle-eyed fans spotted Keke and Sean out together in Manhattan, attending what appeared to every onlooker to be an intimate, private dinner date. Seeing them outside of a studio context, dressed in casual yet stylish attire, sharing a meal away from the cameras and cue cards, fanned the flames of the rumors to an unprecedented degree. The images of them walking side by side, sharing laughs under the city lights, spread across the internet like wildfire, prompting headlines across major entertainment outlets and triggering endless debates in comment sections. Fans were left reeling, asking themselves and each other what exactly was going on between these two cuties, and whether this public outing was the definitive proof that their on-screen chemistry had officially blossomed into a real world. Off-screen romance. The mystery had evolved from a fun internet theory into a tangible Hollywood romance story, leaving the public desperate for an official statement or a clear answer from either side. That long-awaited moment of confrontation finally arrived during a high-profile industry event, the prestigious Cannes Lions Festival, where the media world gathers to discuss the future of entertainment and communication. Keke Palmer was participating in a prominent panel discussion hosted by the globally renowned podcast host and author, Jay Shetty. a man celebrated for his deep conversations and his ability to ask the precise questions that audiences are dying to hear. Jay, fully aware of the massive public obsession surrounding Keke's personal life and refusing to dance around the subject, decided to go straight for the target. With the entire audience watching intently, he directly asked Keke if she was serious about Sean Evans, effectively giving voice to the exact question that millions of people had been typing into search engines for weeks. The room fell completely silent as everyone waited to see how the famously candid star would handle such a direct, unscripted inquiry about her private relationships on such a massive public stage, true to her nature. Keke did not shy away from the question or offer a stiff, corporate public relations denial. Instead, she leaned into her authentic conversational charm, offering a response that was both tantalizingly revealing and masterfully grounded. She looked at Jay and the audience, smiled, and responded that they were simply hanging out, using a casual phrase that immediately sent a wave of excitement through the crowd. She then doubled down on her admiration, stating forcefully that first of all, she absolutely loves Sean Evans, emphasizing her affection by repeating that she loves Sean and affectionately declaring that he is her guy. It was an incredibly warm public validation of their relationship, confirming that their connection was active, meaningful, and deeply special to her. But it was her concluding remarks on the panel that truly set the internet on fire and opened the door to endless possibilities for their future together. Keke looked ahead and mused that you never truly know what can arise from a connection like theirs, indicating that they are deliberately choosing to take things day by day. Then, with a brilliant witty nod to Sean's iconic television show, she added that they were taking it one wing at a time, so to speak. This clever pun not only showed her sharp humor, but also signaled to the world that she is fully embracing the unique history and identity that brought them together in the first place. The response was a masterclass in transparency, confirming the deep bond and ongoing dates without rushing to put a restrictive label on something that is clearly evolving beautifully in its own time. It gave the public the exact validation they were looking for, proving that the rumors were grounded in a very real, very exciting shared journey. To truly understand why this budding relationship has captured the collective imagination of millions, one has to look far beyond the recent viral headlines and realize that the palpable chemistry between Keke Palmer and Sean Evans is a beautiful narrative that has been quietly developing for several years. While the sudden flurry of public outings and the recent candid admissions at the Cannes Lions panel have brought the topic back to the absolute forefront of popular culture, longtime followers of both stars know that the seeds of this connection were planted long ago. The public has been tracking their magnetic interactions across multiple media landscapes, noting that every time their paths crossed, something extraordinary happened on-screen. The foundation of their story is built on a deep, mutual fascination that dates back through multiple seasons of entertainment history, creating a rich backstory that makes their current status feel like an inevitable, beautifully earned chapter in both of their lives rather than a fleeting Hollywood trend. A major piece of this intricate puzzle fell into place back in 2023. During a revealing podcast appearance where Sean Evans himself let his guard down in a way that surprised his core audience. Known for his hyper-focused professionalism and his ability to keep the spotlight strictly on his guests, Sean shocked listeners by openly admitting that he had a massive crush on Keke Palmer. This rare moment of personal vulnerability from the notoriously private host signaled that his admiration for Keke was not merely a reaction to her celebrity status, but a deep-seated attraction to her vibrant personality and intellect. Interestingly, during another memorable interaction, Sean shared a nostalgic childhood memory with Keke, confessing that his absolute biggest celebrity crush growing up as a young kid was the legendary Lisa Left Eye Lopes, the fiercely talented and uniquely charismatic member of the iconic 90s R&B group TLC, in a twist of absolute cosmic irony that feels almost too perfect to be real. Keke Palmer's own expansive career path aligns beautifully with Sean's childhood nostalgia. Way back in 2013, Keke took on the starring role of Rosanda Chili Thomas in the critically acclaimed VH1 biographical film Crazy Sexy Cool, the TLC story. Watching Keke embody the essence, style, and energy of the very musical group that defined Sean's early ideas of romance and talent adds an incredibly poetic, almost destiny-like layer to their real-life connection. It is as if their paths were structurally aligned through pop culture history long before they ever shook hands in a studio. creating a fascinating bridge between Sean's childhood memories and the powerhouse woman who would eventually capture his adult attention. This shared cultural connection gave them an immediate, unspoken common ground, allowing them to skip past the shallow, awkward phases of Hollywood introductions and dive straight into a space of deep familiarity and playful comfort, the ultimate. Unforgettable crescendo of their on-screen chemistry occurred last year during what was Keke's third highly anticipated appearance on Sean's hit show, Hot Ones. By this point, the running jokes and the obvious spark between them had become a staple of the series. But neither the production crew nor the audience was prepared for what would happen as the wings grew hotter and the conversation grew more intense. Addressing the overwhelming wave of fan comments regarding their undeniable spark in previous seasons, Keke, with her trademark boldness and playful confidence, looked directly at Sean and asked if they could just have a quick smooch right then and there, simply to see if there was an actual romantic spark between them. Sean, completely matching her confident energy without a second of hesitation, leaned in and the two shared a genuine, incredibly sweet kiss right on camera, sending shockwaves through the entire digital space. What happened immediately after the kiss solidified that moment as an all-time classic piece of internet history and proved just how deeply Sean was affected by the interaction. As the cameras rolled and the crew looked on, Sean sat back, visibly moved, and uttered a line that shippers have since carved into the annals of modern romance, stating that when he is eventually dying and his entire life flashes before his eyes, he will absolutely have that specific snapshot in his mind. It was a profoundly romantic, incredibly poetic statement from a host who is typically known for his composed, analytical mind. That singular quote transformed their dynamic from a fun, flirty show segment into something deeply profound and undeniably real, showing the world that the connection they shared was powerful enough to leave a permanent mark on one of the most respected interviewers in the industry. When you look at the trajectory of both of these phenomenal individuals, it is incredibly easy to see why the public is seeing nothing but green flag after green flag for this duo. Keke Palmer has spent decades navigating the treacherous waters of the entertainment industry with a level of grace, integrity, and unfiltered honesty that is exceptionally rare, establishing herself as an autonomous powerhouse who answers to no one but her own creative vision. Sean Evans has mirrored that path of integrity in his own right, building an empire from the ground up through pure hard work, intellect, and an unwavering respect for the craft of journalism, entirely avoiding the toxic, exploitative gossip culture that plagues so much of modern media. They are two self-made, fiercely independent individuals who do not need a relationship for status, fame, or validation, which is precisely why their mutual attraction feels so incredibly refreshing and healthy to the onlookers watching from afar. Their relationship represents a perfect alignment of mutual respect, shared ambition, and a brilliant balance of energies, where her explosive theatrical charisma perfectly complements his calm, grounded, and deeply intellectual nature. By choosing to take things day by day, one wing at a time, they are demonstrating a mature, mindful approach to love under the blinding glare of the public eye, refusing to let the intense pressures of the internet dictate the pace of their personal happiness. As their beautiful journey continues to unfold across podcast studios, dinner dates, and international festival stages, the world will undoubtedly continue to watch with immense joy and optimism. This captivating story serves as a beautiful reminder that even in the highly manufactured world of modern